in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you. In the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you.
Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all. us. I'm here and I'm fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, fear outweighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it in a sense, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
Good evening there, and welcome to our latest Elite FPL podcast, recapping on a double game week 35 thus far. Been some very interesting results today, so we're going to be reflecting on those scores and how our teams have been affected, and also looking at our teams in our mini league as well and seeing how they've done. Jason, who have we got in the chat, and what are they saying so far?
Good evening, everybody. We've got FPL Bruno, got Daily Llama, John Harris, Clement LaRue, Aman Dillon's in chat, Nishal is in chat. I don't know how to say your last name, Nishal. I'll just say your first name. Get away with it. We've got John Harris, the Lacquer Captainer, Alexander Todorov, Yepich, FPL Yepich is in chat as well. Matt Henley, Simon Andreasen, Mr. Jobs, Mr. Apple over there. And yeah, just the usual lot are in chat at the moment. Obviously, big
yeah, some cool results today.
Dan, are you there, dude? I think Dan's gone. Anyway, let's just talk about the results of today. Everton absolutely destroying Manchester United, and I couldn't watch the game. I got to half time and I just switched it off, to be honest with you. 2-0 down at half time. For some reason, Lindelof was playing right back. Matic was playing. I think Lukaku had about 3 touches the whole game. I think the only person that had less touches than Lukaku was Pickford. Literally, I cannot understand the complete lack of interest from the United players today. I'm absolutely fuming with the players. I mean, you could put blame on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the way he set his team up, but I mean, it's gone back to Mourinho-esque. You know, the I'm too good to do anything sort of attitude of Paul Pogba, where he's just like walking around in midfield, you know, flapping his arms about when he doesn't get a pass, or, you know, not really looking to play any balls or anything like that. It's literally just, don't get me started. Man United at the moment are just in a bad state of affairs, and it looks like Dan's going to get that £10. But then we'll move on. Saying then Arsenal decided that they weren't interested in top 4. And they were going to lose to Crystal Palace. So, yeah, another Wilfried Zaha masterpiece or masterclass. Outdoing, I didn't watch the game, but I hear it was another penalty. Surprise, surprise. I think Milivojevic is on 12 goals now for the season. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Oh my God. All penalties. No, not all of them, but most of them penalties. Obviously scored the set piece last week. Yeah, so Leno, that transfer. Leno was great. It really worked out, didn't it? That Leno transfer. Yeah, good on you, Jace. You really know your FPL. And, you know, the only consolation being Lacazette decided that he was going to score. In fact, you know what, guys? For the rest of this podcast, I've decided that I think I deserve a grayscaled webcam with a big cloud on top of me just dripping down, because I've got the blues. I've got the FPL blues right now. I really have got the FPL blues. Yeah. They're moving on to Cardiff at home to Liverpool. Surprise, surprise. Liverpool continue their run of results. And Wijnaldum and Milner getting on the score sheet with, guess who? Trent Alexander-Arnold stepping up again with another assist. Bonus 2. Mohamed Salah. I did see the replay. Was it a penalty? I don't think it was a penalty, but I've seen them given. Yeah, that pretty much sums up today's games.
Yeah, I mean, just to add to that, obviously I watched the second half of the Arsenal game, and it's just the changes in the team, the players that are coming in. You know, Guendouzi kind of divers on the ball, and El Neni does nothing, doesn't drive the ball with it. And Lacazette looked quite frustrated. He was holding the ball up quite well, but without Ramsey there, we're going to really miss Ramsey, because it was just like nobody really to link it through. And it's just, yeah, I did say in the predictions Palace would be a dangerous team on the counter-attack, and that's what it proved. And
wait. Can I just say that I was listening on the radio on the way home. I've been at a barbecue all afternoon, forgive me. But on the radio, it said something about Milivojevic on the penalty. And in chat, apparently Millie didn't score. Did the keeper save the penalty? No. What? No. What happened? I thought it was a penalty. Can you tell me what happened in that game?
You'll have to ask chat, because, like I said, I literally just got back home the second half.
On the radio, they were talking about Milivojevic. He assisted.
Well,
oh right, no penalty. Oh right, just a straightforward assist. Okay, so okay, that makes sense. That makes sense, because on the radio they were talking about Milivojevic and penalties. That's why I thought it was a penalty. Okay, I stand corrected. I do apologise, chat.
Yeah,
it's been a long weekend.
No, I mean, it's funny, we say last podcast around, we were talking about teams getting found out, and it's like, I think we got quite lucky against Watford, and I think United kind of scraped past, Watford and West Ham, and it's kind of like those deficiencies have come out in these games. And I actually, after our podcast on Friday, I was like, I'm going to get Leno in, because that makes sense. And ironically, taking out the Brighton goalkeeper, and yeah,
bonus 2.
Just brilliant. And I know Steve-O will be feeling quite smug, because he got that prediction spot on. Obviously, Wolves and Brighton drawing 0-0, and yeah, ironically, my mate Bennett, you know, sat on my bench, played the bench boost, 4.1 million, was worried he wasn't going to start. He got the points. So it's like this game week just feels like unlikely players getting the points, and your big hitters just letting you down, really. And it just feels like once again we've hyped up the double game week, and it's kind of like, I don't know, so far it's a bit of a
literally, yesterday, I just turned everything off. I just hated FPL. I thought, you know what? This game is just, I can't be dealing with FPL today. The whole of yesterday, I was in such a really bad mood. It started off in a good mood. All afternoon, I was just literally over my family, and they were like, "You all right, Jace?" And I'm like, just had a really bad day. Like, what's happened in your life? You know, did your milk go off, or did you forget something? No, just Fantasy Premier League didn't do well. And they're like, right,
it's
okay.
Hard.
So yeah,
it's hard to explain it to other people when they're just like, "Oh, isn't it just a game?" And like when you talk about how much thought and effort. I was actually speaking to Del Bellamy, who's in our mini league, and we were just saying that when you put so much effort into it and so much thought, and you anticipate so much, and it just doesn't come off, and it does feel frustrating. It feels, it does sap you a little bit. But if we want to bring up your team, Jason, to start with, just to look at, and well,
I'll bring up my team. But so for those of you who don't know, maybe you're tuning in for the first time, there's a big rain cloud dripping loads of water on me at the moment. I'm getting saturated. and the tears are rolling because my minus 16 did as so far, and is most likely going to be a fail purely because of the Brighton clean sheet and the Ryan bonus 2 and Lucas Moura coming in, getting me the 2 points. Cathcart coming in, getting me 2 points. Leno coming in, getting me 2 points. Do you see the trend, chat? Do you see the trend? The only player that's really, I can't even say, I can't even say he's returned because obviously Vardy for Lacazette was the transfer. Now, depending on how he does against Wolves, will decide whether or not that was actually a good transfer. But as it stands, I haven't done the maths, but I think
I'm doing it now, Jason.
I'm probably about 9 or 10 points, maybe more actually, maybe 14 points worse off than I would have been if I'd have just left my team the way they are. Is it worse than that? Okay.
Remember Vardy? He got 9 points.
Yeah, he got bonus 3, didn't he?
I'll do the maths.
Oh, you're going to do the maths? Oh, you're going to do the maths? Oh, yeah, by all means, do the maths. That'd be great. That's going to remove the rating cloud anyway. Right, so yeah, my back line, Laporte, Cathcart, and Alexander Arnold. Alexander Arnold, of course, with the bonus 2. Almost pretty much salvaging a very poor game week on my part. And I must admit, a lot of people did raise their eyebrows when I decided to do the minus 16. Especially after a wild card. It's not a very common thing, and to be fair with you, I was happy with the transfers, and I'm still I mean, I'm not going to stand here and think, I knew I shouldn't have done that, because I said on this podcast, I said I'm happy with doing them. So it's just the way the cookie crumbles with FPL, isn't it? Yeah, what's gone?
The maths works out so far that you're minus 30 on that from yesterday alone today. Minus 30 so far. But, Leno could pay off again. Laporte versus United, the way the United are at the moment, absolute shambles. The City could absolutely destroy them if they really wanted to. They could absolutely destroy United.
What was my prediction? Man City, Man United, what was it? So you got it written down somewhere, haven't you?
No, 3-1.
I said
3-1
double it and remove United's goals. 6-0 City. I honestly, right now, if United turn up the way they did today, then City can score as many as they want. And David De Gea is like,
surely there's got to be a reaction. Surely there's got to be some reaction. In Manchester derby at Old Trafford, there's got to be something. They've got to, maybe part of the bus. This is when you need Fellaini back to help you out in these games. I said about Fellaini.
You can't keep out Man City, especially when our defence is playing so poorly. You're talking about Gylfi Sigurdsson having a shot from 30 plus yards out, not being closed down. Matic pretty much just a bystander. Smalling backing off. Literally, David De Gea decided that. I mean, to be fair, it was an amazing strike. I'm not going to take anything away from his shot, but someone at the quality of David De Gea, you would expect him to at least get a hand to it. Not necessarily save it, but he was flat-footed. He didn't. He was pretty much rooted to the centre of his goal. Maybe he saw it late. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he had a transfer move on his mind. It seems that a lot of Man United players have got transfer moves on their mind. Used to be a case that they used to be proud to play for United. At the moment, I'm not so sure. Anyway, I don't want to make this podcast all about Man United because it shouldn't be. But Man City are going to run away with it, I think.
Let's spin it around for a second. So when the game updated,
yeah,
whether you watched my solo podcast or not,
I watched it. Yeah.
What was your thinking about eventually captaining Sterling, and what did you think when you saw I had captain Aguero? Was it like, oh, thank God we've got two different captaincies?
I mean, to be honest with you, Steve, at the moment I don't really worry because I've got a bit of a buffer between me and you.
There's 90
but
points.
I mean, if you'd have triple captained or something this game week, I mean, we were talking about it, weren't we? But So ironically, this game week has actually been really rubbish in terms of a bench boost. Let's be honest, for the majority of people. So maybe a triple captain, or but then there's not been that high scoring players. I mean, Delafeu you could say, but I mean there would have been people that may have captained Delafeu. Who knows? But there was somebody in chat or somebody commented saying they were thinking of doing it. But I mean the popular picks: Jimenez 2 points, Aguero 5 points, Sterling 4 points, Son 2 points, Eriksen he got 2 points. I mean they're not exactly, I don't think there's any winners really this game week. I think the majority of people are probably very frustrated with game week 35, and for those of you who didn't triple captain, or those of you that kept hold of your Brighton assets because you didn't want to take point hits like me, then well done to you, because you've been rewarded. Game week 34 points have been rewarded in game week 35. That's basically what it is. And who knows what's going to happen against Tottenham. I mean, I just don't even want to think about it, to be honest with you.
I was going to say, what are your thoughts on today's game, Dan, between your lot versus Crystal Palace? I mean, you must be absolutely devastated.
Fucking gutted, to be honest with you. I'm really disappointed about it. Excuse the bad language, but yeah, after United losing, I was like, right, okay, let's capitalise on this. But I did say that Palace would be a danger on the counter attack, and they scored 3 goals at Anfield. They drew at United. They beat Man City. They're just set up on the counter attack. And Zaha, I mean, he looks he's looked a good player the last 2 seasons, and he wants to push on. But these aren't players that really consider for the for the fantasy team. But yeah, Mustafi I don't want to see him playing for Arsenal next season. But I don't want to make this podcast an Arsenal fan TV rant style podcast. But yeah, in terms of FPL assets, I did consider Kolasinac on Friday evening. I got in Leno, and that just it didn't work. It could still pay off against Wolves, but that game now against Wolves is a must-win for Arsenal. So some people might have captained Lacazette. Some people might have even, brought in Kolasinac and Leno. So they may be worried now. But I think come Wednesday, we've got to beat Wolves, and that's going to be a really, really tough match. But I thought Lacazette looked all right. He's holding it up, and the assist was an FPL assist, really. Aubameyang went on a brilliant run, beat 2 or 3 players, got blocked. Lacazette knocked it back to him. He smashed it in. So Aubameyang still looking pretty sharp, but it's what I call a double whammy. It's an FPL bummer and it's a real life football fan bummer.
What's your thoughts on Lacazette against Wolves? Do you think he's going to feature?
He's got to feature. Need to win this game.
I am worried. I'm worried.
Need to win it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah, there's people bringing in Kolasinac, obviously. Leno, it's disappointing for that.
Why did you go with Aguero captain, Dan? I mentioned it on a solo podcast last night, and you not copied me, but you went with the same.
Let's bring Dan's team. I'm going to bring Dan's team up just for the chat so they can see. So talk me through it.
Yeah, I mean, I know that Aguero's got a great record against Tottenham. I was saying about that last Friday. I was saying about his great record. He's always loves playing against the top teams, as you said. I just felt in a kind of uncertain week for captains, there was no real safe pick. But Aguero kind of felt reassuring because Man City, it's all about motivation at this part of the season. Teams that have got things to play for, like Brighton had something to play for at Wolves yesterday. I spoke to Cy Bellamy earlier. She said, obviously Brighton needed something at Wolves, so they were going to be really trying. And yeah, to Aguero, he's got to play both games. All right, he might, he was taken off with 20 minutes to go, but I just felt with his good record, it was worth a punt. And in terms of my mini league rivals, not every team has got Aguero as well, so it is a bit. It sounds strange saying this, but it is a tiny bit of a differential captain in terms of my battle of teams in and around me. So that kind of made sense. But yeah, it's just the unsung heroes like Bennett getting points. Brighton defender getting points as well. So it's just players that I did not expect. Budget fodder on my bench, but the bench boost, obviously Southampton got smashed at Newcastle, so that really paid off. So the bench boost, yeah, so far is a little bit underwhelming, but we'll see what happens Wednesday. Yeah, just an average double game week, or below average double game week. Although I got a higher score than both of you so far, but it's probably not going to be the same case.
Well, you're actually on the same. No, you're on less than us. Me and Jason are on. What is it? 37? You said, Jason? For me and you?
Yeah, as it stands at the moment, obviously games are not all been played yet. But with bonus points, as it stands with bonus points, we're level on 37 points. Me and you.
Yeah, sorry, Dan. I was looking at the wrong someone else's team. My apologies. You're on. Yeah, you are.
He's
right.
on 53 minus 8. So yeah, 45.
Yeah.
Dan's on 45. So he's doing better than that.
Alexander Arnold.
Yeah, he's been reliable. He was the one I got in my wild card, and I always can rely on him. It's like players. I always say about it's players you can rely on. Trent Alexander-Arnold all season, and previously Doherty, obviously sticking obvious Aguero, but Trent Alexander-Arnold for the value, the value that he's bringing to the team. That was something positive. But yeah, I was really tempted. I had this conundrum in my head about Llorente and bringing him in, and I kind of, when I saw the lineups yesterday, I was like, it's kind of hoping he'd start, but then I was kind of not surprised. But I'm more thinking for the game against Brighton, and I almost feel like, because we were bashing Brighton so much on our last podcast, that the Brighton players watched our podcast and they were like, "That Steve-O, that Jason, that Dan, what do they know about us? They think we're rubbish. We're going to prove them wrong and spoil their double game week so far." But I'm hoping Llorente can do something on Wednesday, because that will be a good differential as well.
You mentioned our mate Dale. And his he didn't play a bench boost. Jason, if you bring up Dale Bellamy's team, look at this.
Yeah, bring it up now. 1 second.
Everybody's strategy was playing a wild card last week and bench boost this week. Well, I don't know what Dale's done, but if you look at his bench, he's got Alisson, Robertson, and Trent Alexander-Arnold bench. But bizarrely, his 3 starting defenders all got clean sheets as well, in Bennett, Laporte, and Duffy. But imagine if Dale had played his bench boost. I don't know what, if Dale's in chat or whatever, or when he watches the replay, maybe send us a comment. But in the inbox,
that's demoralising in itself. We've got Capkin Gaming and a few others in chat letting us know how they've scored this week, and the Tesso in chat is saying he's sitting on 61 so far. Well done, the Tesso. Assuming you haven't taken any hits, let us know if you have. Capkin Gaming is on 69 points. So let me just bring up Capkin's team. 1 second, I'll find his team now. Hang on.
Wow, that's crazy. 60 points. It'd be something like, I don't know, 20 or something like that.
Here we go. 69 bench boost played. Here we go. Alexander Arnold paying off for him. Laporte, Bolly, Dunk. Obviously, Southampton goalkeeper and Gunn with 1 point. It's disappointing, but Aguero, Captaincy, against Man United, God, that man could hit 2 or 3 easily. And obviously, the standard Jimenez pick. Deulofeu, the standout. Deulofeu, well done, Capkin. I mean, holding true to that Watford man is really, really paid off. And who knows what he can do against Southampton. So, yeah, really, really good score this week for Capkin. He'll be moving into the top 10,000 for the first time, I believe, this year. So, well done to you, Capkin. And
can I just say about Capkin that I don't know what on earth you were doing with your wild card for game week 34, but it looks like you've made 1 million transfers. I'm just scrolling and scrolling down the page, and all it is game week 34. Bloody hell. Right, here we are. He got rid of Duffy and Eric. This is his -4. He got rid of Duffy and Ericsson and brought in De Bruyne and Cathcart. So that's slightly better. Yeah, so far.
Yeah, the De Bruyne will be a bit of a disappointment. Obviously, he's I think he's ruled out now. He's probably out now for the rest of the season with a hamstring injury. Really upsetting for his owners and for obviously himself. Obviously, with a season where he's spent a lot of time out with injuries. Obviously, the knee injury at the beginning or early stages of the season. So, yeah, John Harris actually makes a really good point in chat. I will go back through chat in a moment, guys. Delafeu being flagged has cost many a lot of points this week. Yes. God, imagine having him in, transferring him out for a hit because you're worried that he wasn't going to play. Oh my God, that. Yeah. So yeah. Captain Lukaku sucks. Yeah, Captain. I do apologise. I did think that would possibly pay off for you, that Lukaku shout, but who would have known that United were completely going to collapse all top four aspirations over the last couple of games, over the last 7 days pretty much. They've not been performing.
You mentioned John Harris there, and he's actually had a terrible game week so far yesterday, but today triple captain Lacazette's come through so far. Alexander-Arnold doing really well for him. He's on 54 points, but he took that 16-point hit. He went out of the top 100. He was as of last night.
Ryan and Duffy on his bench.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah.
A lot of the same old stories with a lot of people with that Brighton. We all joke about it. Like I put up some amusing tweets about what I predicted in our preview show, and I'm surprised. It wouldn't surprise me if some people did smash their phones after seeing Brighton.
We got a few comments. Just tracking back now. Jordan Booman was the gentleman that commented on our videos saying that he was going to have Delafeu captain. Then he panic attack last minute and moved it to Lacazette. Oh no, Jordan! Oh no. So as far as we're aware, nobody that watches our show is captain Delafeu, but if you have anyone that tunes in, well done to you. We got not really Jason. I kept Duffy and Ryan, but still lost due to getting rid of Digne for Cathcart. But you still had Duffy and Ryan, Richard. It's not the end of the world. It could have been worse. You could have done a -16 and take them out. Yeah. Hoping Monreal does the damage on Wednesday, says Alexander Todorov. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that Leno kicks the ball long to Lacazette and Lacazette overhead kicks it top corner. That'll be my ideal result for that game. 59 points in total for frustrating Van Arnholt. Rakesh says in chat. I mean, 59 points is a decent score. I think that the average is 51 at the moment in the top 10k, and for the 38-40 in the overall, roughly around that sort of mark. I haven't checked lately, but if you've scored more than 55 points this week, you should be looking. Well, I'm not going to say looking for Green Arrow, depending on where you are in the rankings, but if you scored more than 60 points, where a few of you guys are in chat are saying that you've scored 64, 61, 69s, that's a really good score so far. Yeah. Halfway through the game week. Matt Henley in chat says I stuck in with Lukaku as I thought he might do well against Everton. Oh God, the former team theory. That's the theory. Turns out he thought he would still be playing for Everton. Yeah, he didn't do anything. Honestly, maybe wants to get a transfer back. Lacazette could do well against Wolves. Yeah, Wolves. I mean, it is away, Arsenal away, but I think I'm hoping that you do something against Wolves. A bit of a weird one because I've got Bennett in my team. So it's always a bit awkward when you've got a striker playing against one of your defenders. I can't even speak at the moment. I'm gonna transfer it over to one of you two. In fact, Steve-O, let's go for your team. I'm gonna bring your team up.
We have to. Yeah, it's been one of those where I just get more frustrated by the fact that I don't have my double Liverpool defence, which of course I was banging on about for weeks and weeks. I finally went through with it with Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson. The only time they actually got me a double clean sheet was against Everton 0-0. Then they proceeded to concede a goal in the preceding 3 or 4 games. Since then, people that have had Liverpool defence have then gone and miraculously got clean sheets. It really does infuriate me. It is my decision making, but it just. All my decisions are based on absolute pure logic, and yet everything just kind of... It's a bit like I said in the solo podcast yesterday that, when it comes to betting or fantasy football with me, if I say one thing, it actually happens the following week. So, for example, we all expected Brighton to get a clean sheet versus Cardiff. Did nothing. We all know what happened there. Then the following week, they'll probably end up 0-0 this week when no one is going to be owning them whatsoever. And that's exactly what happened. The Valerie, I mean, I know most of my team, most people have got, but it's just that Firmino. I literally turned the radio on and heard Firmino is in and he's kicked it over the bar. And I just sat there just thinking, this is exactly why I'm never going to catch you, Jason. Because
well, I could say the same. I could say the same thing when I was watching the Spurs game, and Lucas Moura had a couple of amazing chances. I mean, he was 1-on-1 at one point.
Yeah, but hold on a minute. Right, this is Tottenham versus Man City. It's not Liverpool versus Cardiff.
Yeah,
Liverpool should be destroying teams like Cardiff and Huddersfield, and it wouldn't surprise me next week if Huddersfield go and only concede one goal against Liverpool.
Yeah, in the reverse game of Huddersfield and Liverpool, it was only 1-0 to Liverpool earlier in the season. So, I mean, I know Huddersfield are relegated now, but those, they could put in a spirited performance. I mean, look at Fulham. Some people are owning Fraser, Wilson, those kind of guys. And then Fulham, all of a sudden, 2 clean sheets, beat Everton last week, and they beat Bournemouth away. It's a crazy time of the season, I think, at the moment. You can't always predict it.
And if no one heard watched my solo podcast yesterday, basically I did say that, and I openly admitted that I did deliberately copy Davey FPL for captaincy wise, because I was just stuck. I originally had it on Sterling. I genuinely had forgot about the game completely. It got to 11:15. I went on break, and I just was like, oh yeah, I forgot about fantasy football. I just quickly did my transfers, and yeah, bringing in Cathcart and Leno for Ryan and Duffy has obviously backfired, like everybody. Sometimes I just wish I just left the team now, because if I'd have just gone on break 15 minutes later, my team would be a lot better off than what it is now. That's as simple as it gets. And I would have had Sterling captain. I mean, I haven't even spoke to you, Jason. You captain Sterling. What made you end up decide that?
His form's been great of late, and I just enjoy watching him play. And I was really frustrated in that game against Tottenham. He got really riled up in the second half and got almost in.
Missed that extraordinary save by Gazzaniga.
Yeah. He could have. I mean, to be fair, any other game that would have been a goal. He just literally just just stuck his leg out, almost David De Gea-esque, and just got a foot to it. I'm talking like 2017, 2018 David De Gea, of course. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy because he obviously got in a. Was it? I can't remember if it was who he was with. He was in like a. Was it Vertonghen? Yeah, I think it was Vertonghen. Right at the end of the game, he got in a bit of a bust up with Vertonghen on the touchline, and got himself a yellow card. But a couple of flare-ups before that, where he got involved in like pushing. I was thinking, oh my god, he's going to get himself a yellow carded any minute now, and he did. But he was lucky that he didn't pick up 2 yellow cards in like the space of 5 minutes. I was literally like, oh my god, Pep, get him off, because I thought he was going to like get himself like sent off, like I said. But yeah, I was behind Sterling, and to be honest with you, if he plays against United, like I said, Aguero and Sterling, if they both start or if they play decent minutes, I can see it being a duck shoot. I really can. I mean, United's defence at the moment, who knows who Ollie's going to put in the centre, who's going to put on the right hand side. But certainly, I'm not going to hold much faith in them being able to keep out Man City. I just want to just read through things. What's Davey FPL rank now? Says John Harris. We don't know.
He was something like 28th last night, and I don't think. I'm looking at the screen now. I don't think he has got. Well, everybody's got a chance of winning FPL, but the guy that's Adam Levi, who's top, he's leading it by 20 odd points, 20, 30 points. And we've got a guy who Block FPL on Twitter. He's in communication with us at the moment. He's 5th in the world. He's doing really well at the moment. As of yesterday, I brought his team up in my solo podcast. I can't remember what he's doing now, but Yeah,
Right, okay,
he's doing really well.
Dave FPL was 19th place. He's got 54 points, -4, 50 points. His new rank after subs currently on live FPL is 27th. He's dropped from 8 places, 19th to 27th. Obviously, still early days. He's had Robertson and Alexander-Arnold play. The rest of his team have yet to play another game. So certainly not... it's not over for him yet. He could easily break back into the top 20.
What's Block FPL? Because he went up to 4th last night.
Block FPL, yeah. So let's quickly find Block. Bear with me. He was up to 4th.
For anybody that doesn't know who Block FPL is, basically, you'll know the circumstances. He came out and started chatting to us on Twitter, didn't he?
Oh, Green Arrow.
Oh,
right,
wow.
So Block FPL was 5th place in the world last night. He's got 63 points. No hits taken. Patricio in goal. 6 points. He's got Bowley, 6 points. Duffy, 6 points. Robertson, 6 points. Van Dijk, 7 points with that bonus point. Obviously, Fabianski, a bit of a letdown in goal, but then that's Fabianski. Fraser, 2 points. Son, 2 points. Sterling, 2 points. Maddison, 2 points. Salah, 6 points. Is vice captain, but his captain of Jimenez hasn't paid off so far, returning a lowly 4 points. But Vardy kept hold of Vardy, and that got him 9. So at the moment, as it stands, he's 3rd in the world as of tonight. So well done to Block FPL. So who knows what will happen come the remaining games and if he can go up again.
And what was the context of him getting in contact with us, or what was the circumstances? Now?
Yeah, so he's going to work out.
Here he is now.
He's going to work out. Hey, he's in chat. I've just literally tuned in to this funny just to took a nap. Well, glad to have you with us, Block FPL. So basically, Block FPL is interested in popping onto one of our shows. He's going to chat about his season because absolutely flying at the moment. Possibly could push to win the whole thing. And just be really interested to hear the insight into how the season's progressed for him and how he's feeling the pressure at the moment, being well within the top 10 and now into the top 3. I think I haven't read what the prizes are for coming. There's a top 3 prizes for FPL, or is it? I
thought it was first place only.
No,
maybe like running back
right. That might be. Yeah, I'll have to look through the rules again. But if not, I mean, it's just a prestigious thing to have anyway, isn't it? 3rd place at the moment. God, well done to you, Block, and look forward to seeing how you go on from this for the rest of this game week.
So Dan, I'm assuming you didn't know the results till last night / this morning.
This morning, yeah. I was thinking, oh man, I need to check this all out. I do. It does play on my mind during the day though, and I'm just like, oh, what did Wolves do? What did Brighton do? So,
what were your reactions to yesterday's game then? I mean, I think for me, kind of from an FPL perspective, I saw someone comment in our chat that Huddersfield last second, whatever it was, goal against Watford kind of destroyed me and Jason's and Cathcart. The thing, Fulham beating Bournemouth 1-0. I don't know where on earth this form has come from out of the blue. Newcastle winning comprehensively 3-1. West Ham in that 2-2 draw. And what were your thoughts on yesterday's matches, Dan?
Yeah, it's funny. I was in another pub early yesterday evening. I looked up at the Newcastle Southampton game, and it was just like 3-1 to Newcastle, and I was just like, yeah, it's going to be an interesting weekend for FPL this time around. But yeah, I was surprised that Newcastle just smashed Southampton, because Southampton have been really strong of recent. But maybe, like you said, they kind of celebrated a little bit too much early, and Newcastle have been in good form as well. But no, I think it's just like we've been saying throughout the podcast, it's frustrating. Particularly, I brought Cathcart in to kind of copy you guys a little bit, but I brought Cathcart in. Was quite confident in them getting a clean sheet away to Huddersfield, but it's a similar thing earlier in the season. I had Kolasinac in, and then Arsenal winning 2-0, and then they concede a goal in injury time. It is funny that teams that get relegated, they still have this battle about them, and maybe Fulham without any pressure now, just sort of playing a little bit with a bit more freedom, and they just don't all that anxiety's been taken away from them, and obviously some of the all of the players there want to stay in the Premier League, so they're getting themselves out in the market. They're thinking, Christ, I don't fancy going, into the Championship away to Middlesbrough or whoever next season. They want to be, staying in the Premier League, so that plays into it. But it's just a typical double game week whereby players that playing for teams that maybe don't have a role in a double game week, you just completely miss, like Sigurdsson and Richarlison coming back as well. I mean, Everton's turnaround in form. A few months ago, they lost 3-2 away to Millwall. And now, at home, they've kept a clean sheet against Arsenal, Manchester United, Chelsea and Liverpool, and obviously beaten 3 of the 4 teams. So it's just like Silva's just completely turned it around. And we've all kind of forgotten about Digne and players like that, because earlier in the season, they were really good value and they were getting loads of good returns. Richarlison early on was like essential. It seemed like he was a season keeper. They had a crap run of form, and then we kind of completely forgot about them. And now it's just like, oh yeah, these guys. But another thing we haven't touched upon before is Mane, because that was one I was really tempted. I was never going to do it, but I was very tempted, thinking Mane away to Cardiff. Is it even worth just captaining him rather than going with the crowd, so to speak? But he didn't do anything today, so I'm a bit lost for words, really. I just a bit underwhelming again.
Someone on a completely off subject, so to speak, but I've just thought I'd check. So someone in chat's just made a jokey comment about the fact that, you may be third in the world, but nothing's going to compare to winning a Torbay, an elite FPL mug for the Manager of the Month award. Now, I don't know what happened to Daniel Ash regarding the March Manager of the Month award, whether he received his mug or not. But the point being is that in the April Manager of the Month award, now this will be good. A bit of the profile here for us three, guys. Capping Gaming at the moment is 3 points off top spot in the April Manager of the Month award. Now, it is extremely tight in the, even the top 11 that's on my screen at the moment, between someone called Masami Pim all the way down to 11th Ryan Jingles. But basically, there's only a few points. So basically, Ryan Jingles is on 174 points this month, and Masami Pim is on 191. Capping Gaming's on 188. But let's all hope Capping Gaming wins, because then in front of all those millions of people, he can hold them. No, but joking aside, it'd be nice to see, a regular contributor to our chat win the prize, so to speak. But yeah, I mean, moving briefly forward, what are you thinking of the games coming up? Now we've seen the first part of the double game week teams. Are we confident in Spurs assets, Southampton, Watford, Wolves, Arsenal, and City assets? Because they're the main ones we'd all picked in. What do you think, Dan?
I'm confident in Son, because he looked quite lively yesterday. Yeah, so at home to Brighton, I feel quite confident with him. Man City players, it goes without saying, they've got lots to play for. And, no offence, obviously United have had a terrible result today. So they're kind of there for the picking if City really want to ramp it up and put more pressure on Liverpool. But Arsenal, I don't know. I just got this feeling we're going to lose, and it could be a good day for Jimenez owners, actually. If we defend like that again, Jimenez is going to have a field day. So I think we'll score. So, if you've got Lacazette in, there's a chance to score. But, Jimenez can still do. If you captain Jimenez, I think he can still get some returns on Wednesday. I'm not feeling very confident about that. So, yeah, we will see. But at the moment, the headline just seems to be all about Brighton players just trolling us all.
Yeah. Jason, any more final thoughts from people in chat, yourself, etc.? You're on mute, Jason.
Yeah, just to go on from KDB in chat, it's, Ray Joyce in chat's asking about KDB. Any fitness update? Looks like it's going to be a hamstring. Very unlikely to feature now until next season, really. A bit of a nightmare for his owners, of course. I think FPL General captained KDB. And a lot of veteran managers this season, a lot of the big names like Jay Eggersdorf, to name a few. There's some other ones as well, like FPL Family aren't doing too great, I don't believe. But some of the experienced FPL managers are not having the best of seasons because it's been such an unpredictable season, and there's been some really odd weeks where expected players have not performed and differentials and have not come through, and it's been really weird. It's been an up and down roller coaster of a season. But we got a few more comments to go through. It's 12:39 p.m. in Canada at the moment. Wow. Thanks for being here, Taffy.
Thank you.
Elite FPL mugs are where it's at. Boona, yeah, absolutely. Get yourself in for a chance to win one if you haven't got one already. Adam Levy has taken out, sold Sigurdsson and Calvert-Lewin and Sigurdsson out to get Jota and Jimenez in. Ooh.
Yeah, I put up a jokey tweet that when I did my solo podcast last night, that I actually did bring up the fact that, he got rid of Sigurdsson and Calvert-Lewin, the two players that were differentials into his wild card. And I did say just jokingly, I predicted a 3-1 loss there.
Yeah.
And look, again, we can't call football.
You can't. No. You can't.
I think it's one of those where he is so far. It's a bit like you in our mini league. You're so far ahead that you can kind of just, take hits here and there, not really care about your team stuff, because I think, like I said, he's about 20, 30 points clear of second place. And it's like you ahead of me in our elite one, 90 odd points clear. And I've got to say, I like this question.
I got Evan. Yeah, he asked it earlier on actually, and sorry, Evan, that I didn't pick it up earlier. But yeah, I'll read it out if you want. What about Liverpool double defence and City double attack will be the way to go for the last 3 game weeks? Double defence for Liverpool and a midfielder, I assume, and then double attack for Man City. What's your thoughts on that, guys?
Well, I mentioned it earlier on. My luck when it came to having double Liverpool defence just completely failed. There was all logic to reasoning to why I would have double Liverpool defence. It just completely backfired. I just got sick to death of it, and I just haven't had. And then I just decided to change it around and have double attack. That's failed on me. I think double City attack is brilliant. I think it's perfect. I think Dan nodding his head in the green there. I can't see what Aguero and Sterling, Dan?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've got 0.8 in the banks, so yeah, I think investing in another, if I can work it out, investing in another Liverpool defender at the back would be a good move. With the fixtures they've got as well, moving forward, to double up on their defence would be,
Here's a question for you guys. Has Salah passed a rehearsal for, what's the word I'm looking for? Completely forgotten the word now. Essential to bring him in for the game. No.
Too much surgery to get him in the team, really. I mean, I'm quite happy having, let's say, Mane and then maybe 2 Liverpool defenders. I've obviously got 2 City attacking assets already. So yeah, pretty happy with that, really. But any other thoughts in chat at all before we wrap up for the evening?
Let's have a look. Who's going to win the league, City or Liverpool? Says FPL Yepich.
Liverpool.
I'm personally hoping Liverpool win it, but
I'm not.
It really is down to this. I think this United game really for City. They've got some decent fixtures. I'll tell you what will be interesting for me is how us lot do against Chelsea tomorrow evening. And just to let anybody know who didn't watch the preview, I was actually sorry, Dan.
I'm on Burnley.
I was planning on going, but basically the game sold out. But if I did want to go, I found out that I could go to the hospitality section, but just 101 quid just for that. Forget it. Just get stuff. There's only like a few tickets left in that, so I can't go with that. But
it wouldn't surprise me if you pull out a result against Chelsea, though. It wouldn't.
It's going to be tight. I mean, I went 3-1 to Chelsea. We don't do particularly well against top 6 teams. I think it'll be a tight game, but not like in the sense of goals. I think Chelsea will score some goals, but it won't be like cutting through us like they did against Slavia Prague. But City away at us next weekend. I think City are going to completely. That'll be again another 3 goals minimum to City, and then they are at home to Leicester. That could be an interesting one. I mean, someone I read in the comment section somewhere. Wouldn't it be ironic that Brendan Rodgers defeats Man City and helps Liverpool win when he was the one in charge of Liverpool when they last came close to it? And of course, final day of the season, they're away at Brighton.
Oh,
so
yeah.
We've got really favourable fixtures. Liverpool have got really favourable fixtures. I mean, funny enough, the last game of the season for Liverpool at you've missed it now. At home to Wolves, I think that is clearly their hardest match to finish off with.
You say about that, but I mean, away to Newcastle, Newcastle have had some great results at home this season, so that would be so ironic as well if Benitez put a sting in Liverpool's title challenge. Wouldn't that be ironic? So football does work out like that sometimes.
Funny enough, just looking at this, that's a Saturday evening kickoff, 7:45, Dan.
Ooh, yeah, I reckon Newcastle are going to get a result. I don't know why. I've just got this feeling, St James's Park, Saturday evening, which is always weird, Saturday evening games, but yeah, under the floodlights.
Game week 37 is a really odd one because you've got a Friday night game, which is Everton versus Burnley. And then on Saturday, you've got 2 evening kickoffs, Cardiff versus Crystal Palace at 5:30, Newcastle and Liverpool at 7:45. And you've got 3 games on Sunday, 2 of them off at 2 o'clock. And then Monday, you've got 8 o'clock kickoff between City and Leicester. So that's like a big game of football there.
My money, if I was a gambling man, would be on City still. I still think that Liverpool have got a history of bottling title races. And
is it right saying that if City win every single game, they win it?
Yeah. They win it anyway, yeah.
I think if they beat United at Old Trafford, then they're gonna win the league.
Yes,
but
it's always been a case with City though that they will always score more goals than they concede. So whereas Liverpool have started to do that now, but they're more tighter at the back and get a 1-0, maybe a 2-0 win. Whereas City in my mind, City have got a much higher goal scoring threshold, and even if they concede 1 or 2, like against United, if United were to score, I still think City will outscore them. That's where their main advantage comes from for me anyway. They've just got too many talented players that can just perform. All right, so yeah, I think that's come to the end. Dan, if you want to wrap it up.
Yes, so thanks for joining us in the live chat, and if you're watching on the replay, please do give us some feedback. And if you are new to the channel or you've watched this before and you enjoy the content, please do subscribe, because we really do appreciate it and it helps us grow this channel more and more. Please also feel free to connect with us on Twitter and Instagram as well to keep up to date with our latest podcasts and all things FPL. But enjoy the rest of your Easter weekend and look forward to... Steve-O's got something important to say.
Yeah, I'm going to say so, which is self-promoting, which is narcissistic from myself, and I'm sure you two would appreciate. But it would, I'm going to say this live now. I just want to say thank you to some of the followers on Twitter for retweeting some of our stuff. It really does, it's like Dan says, it really does help the channel grow. We're not in it for the views, but from a narcissistic point of view, for me, I'm really missing doing my solo live streams, and I can't do them anymore. I can't do them anymore because, unfortunately, YouTube have taken a ruling of you have to have 1,000 subscribers to live stream from a mobile phone, and I'm missing them. And my solo podcast last night wasn't uploaded till about 1-2 o'clock in the morning because, for whatever reason, YouTube has got some issue with it where uploading videos is taking up to like 4 or 5 hours after I've recorded it. It's insane. So anybody that's watching this and is really enjoying the content, maybe help us, tweet about us. And, we got some of the... I just find it ironic that we got some of the highest ranked players in the world, in our chat and everything. They come back every single week and stuff. But it'd be just amazing if you could just, promote our thing and I don't know. It's just
And
like
if you
I say,
haven't
it's just
subscribed, like Dan said, if you haven't subscribed, because we still find out that a lot of people that watch our channel haven't subscribed to us. So if you like the content, guys, hit us with that subscription. If we can get to 1,000 subscribers, maybe not this season, but certainly next season, Steve-O can continue doing his live streams instead of doing this 4 or 5 hour upload that he tends to do, and everyone's happy. So from everyone here, thank you ever so much. Good night.
Good night. Thanks a lot. Hello there, and welcome to our Elite FPL.
pun where Shaw's lights were knocked out. Dan, you may want to turn on your light because you're
Chat said that Steve-O, if you bench Alonso and he returns, you have to get a history tattoo.
Well, people in chat saying, Jack, before we move on to the Elite FPL.
First of all, my name isn't Jack. Right, okay, I'm gonna let Dan speak because it seems to be mainly me and. Go, Dan. Go ahead. What are you gonna do?
It's absolutely fascinating.
Jason, try and just stop.
Right. Okay. Right. I'm.